Good morning and welcome to Daily Game Design. Yesterday I felt like I made some real progress in feeling out the arc of the game, feeling out the arc of Solar Smugglers. And it really had to do with the length of the game and the the number of auctions, the just kind of deciding on the number of components and what would be included and involved. It has been a cool challenge because for some reason I started I started with thinking we might have two major rounds in the game, like two solar storms. And wow, that'd be a crazy long and tedious game. So anyway, cutting back, figuring that stuff out has been pretty cool. It's weird how my intuition really doesn't correctly align with gamer experience yet, whereas I feel like super experienced designers, they can filter out ideas like that instantly. They're like, oh, I know what it's going to be like to have 16 auctions. I know what that's going to feel to have 20 auctions. I know what that's going to feel like. That's going to be horrible. And I didn't get that until actually playtesting myself. So well, also I wanted to highlight here's my friend Keith. And highlight him for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love this guy. He came out to the retreat. It was good to see him. We actually didn't get to play any games during the retreat, but he came over Monday night after, and we played the Quest for El Dorado. Anyway, funny, quirky, intense guy. Really fun to play games with because he's pretty dramatic during games. Also, good teacher. Very much he just likes to keep things clear, parameters, rules. He likes to keep the game moving and keep it clear and keep it fair. So, you know, anyway, just a cool guy. But let me highlight Keith because this is one of I'm telling you, it's wild to me just how much gamers are not into social media. Because we had a great time over the weekend. Like just like a kind of breakthrough success in my view. We had a team meeting last night and it was just very celebratory. Of course, with an eye on things to tweak and change, systems to continue building and refreshing. But overall, it was, in my view, the weekend was the target. Like that's the dream. Now we can continue to improve, but my thinking is if we find a good gear, we just find it again and stay there. So it's just like the quality. I mean, there are things we can certainly improve, but and there will be things to communicate through. Like we'll have personality challenges over the weekend and things like that. We might need to learn to address better. But anyway, overall, it's like that's it. That's to me that's the goal. And yet, and yet, and we're talking beautiful place, incredible games on the table, delicious food, everything. And I've only seen I'm probably wrong here, but I feel like I've only seen one or two people post about it. They repost things, we post stuff, they repost it. But as far as being the ones nobody's trying to take selfies. There's one guy that we met recently who's super selfie guy, but he happened to be off island during the retreat. It's just so interesting. These people. And in a way, I have to say, I think in a way that's kind of good because it really almost incidentally suppressed demand. I think the more people knew what we're doing up there, yeah, there's little stuff it's a camp, it's a little rustic, there's some bugs around sometimes. But I think the more people understood the vibe up there, the more we would get. And I think until we have our team, until we had this particular team, I don't want to down. I'm not trying to down on the previous teams, But it's just something about the clarity of purpose, the systems building Lehua had in place, or the systems that she had in place, um, and just other pieces. Like I think it was an area of growth for me. So it's not them, it's me. We had very helpful, capable people before, with their own strengths and whatever, but it's me. I was able to. These people actually, I believe, ripped responsibility out of my hands by doing stuff that I didn't even know they were doing, which was superior to what I would have done. So, yeah. Anyway, it looks like we're gonna have a fluctuating stream again today. Too bad. But anyway, these people just really stepped up, made things happen, and in a way that is much better than what I would have done. And I think seeing that and believing that, like, trusting that if they needed help, if they needed more encouragement, if they needed more support, they would let me know. Of course, I did have to learn, like, you know what, I need to check in on these people because they're doing a lot. I don't know if this is sustainable. So it was really good practice for me too. But anyway, so yeah, a, just a really successful weekend, and like now we're more prepared. We have better systems in place, more clarity of vision, so that we can handle more demand. And as I've mentioned before, we had around 85 people. That's total. That's not all at one time. But I suspect with how the weekend went and now how we're kind of a stronger machine, I suspect we're going to need to cap the weekend. And this is because it'll be for two reasons. One is that was the standard. That weekend was the standard. People are going to talk about it. People are going to be excited about it. I've already heard it. There's already some buzz. Friends are saying, "Hey, we heard the retreat." Just like was like another level. It absolutely was. So people heard that. People are buzzing and talking about it. So I know that it's going to be more of a priority for some who are just kind of like, I don't know, the food wasn't great last time, whatever. So we're going to get people coming back, but we're also going to get through word of mouth. We're going to hit the numbers that are going to cause us to cap. I'm confident of that. Okay, so it's the success of the weekend and the buzz, the word of mouth stuff. We're going to invest in some better marketing and things like that too. But I don't think we really need to. Here's the other reason why there's going to be more demand next time. We're going to be doing more in the community. We're going to be shaking things up. So whether it's through coordinating with other actors, other agents in the field, or like producing our own systems, our own programs. So just really, really excited. I'll give you a couple of examples. So we're brainstorming last night and not spending a ton of time with details, but just thinking like what can we experiment with next time? And one of the things came up, it was kids programming. And so we asked, is this really a thing we're prepared to handle? Are we really going to run a kids program? I think ultimately what I thought was great from Mark is ultimately we have essentially a kids track. Saturday would be something like a kids track. Now they would need some guidance and they need their parents there, but it is the sort of thing. It's the kind of like Saturday in particular was a day where a kid, of course with adult supervision, could hop from one activity to the next, including some games, including the meals, but really have a very full active day. So I'm talking about going out and LARPing with the LARPing guys, participating in origami, going swimming while aqua yoga is happening, sitting down to paint with Mike at Paint and Take, fit in a game here and there, right? Maybe in the evening that might have been where we dropped, where the track would drop off. We just throw up a couple Disney movies or whatever. So we have it. We actually have featured activities where kids could engage, participate, feel comfortable. So so that was a good revelation. But it also came to, well, we could run our own kids camp, our own gaming kids camp, games, game design. Oh, and I'm about to I want to feed those ideas as much as I can, because what we're angling toward is building business and building nonprofit activity, building up nonprofit activity. Of course, we need to get the paperwork for a nonprofit done first, but anyway, just really thrilling stuff that we're going to be doing things, more things, activating more people in the community. So they're just going to know us. They're going to know, they're going to trust us. They're going to get to know what we do and what we value, and they're going to realize they value that too. So we're just going to have more people wanting to come to camp. Okay, well I think that's it for now, but it was just great to have Keith, you know, be one of the very few people to post something. Uh it's just really funny. Keith is a great guy, and it's just hilarious that he's like our influencer at this point. Yeah. So anyway. Okay, so I'm going to jump into Solar Smugglers. Oh, I got a lot of stuff to close actually. Wait a second. I forgot there's so much startup stuff. Let me actually I think I no, I'll do it later. Another cool thing is I was talking with Dan after our meeting last night, and apparently he spent some time talking with, I think, the Dean of Student Life, maybe, or something like that at HPU, Hawaii Pacific University. And he was like kind of gassing me up for them a little bit. But the key is, it sounds like they're actually open to trying out some activities around games and even game design. So, we're talking about potentially one of our early revenue streams where we actually get to, you know, get some income flowing and then be able to reinvest that, be able to sustain ourselves so that we can continue working on this stuff. Anyway, it just seems like a really awesome, like universities, that's actually a kind of ideal setting for testing out some of our ideas. It's just like doing research where most research articles come out of universities and come from university professors who run research with their most convenient audience, which is college students. So it's almost like natural that we would start with programming at the university. I think that'd be interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna get TTS going, and I believe I left. Um, Sorry, I got distracted by an idea. I believe I left the um the changes that I was gonna suggest. Um, Built into the latest version of setup. I want to say setup right here. Not exactly. Interesting. No, this is right. Okay, so we're almost back to a similar. We're back to a similar count of cards from where I started. I forget exactly how many, but I think it was similar. I think it was 8 or 9 cards. maybe 10 that would be potentially involved in the deck. And then, of course, there are a few left to the side just for replayability sake. Here are the key changes. This is mostly... well, actually, no. Let me see. How many cards are there? There are 14 cards. Okay, I'll try this. But the focus has mostly been on trying to get the timing of the game, the arc of the game right. What I found with the larger, with a greater number of auctions is that this deck would run out. And that doesn't... I could still add cards to this deck, but there's something... oh, shoot. There's a word I really want to think of right now. It's a common word. Simple word. It's not serendipitous, but it's similar to that. Serendipitous. Definitely not spelled right. But it is. This is really not right, but it's a word that feels like serendipitous, so I don't think I'll get it. Okay, well, maybe I could ask AI. You just ask this guy. Oh, by the way, another interesting potential. So I've started reaching out to our partners to say thank you for joining us or for sending us games to raffle / having our play to win. I've been sending out emails and just kind of thank you card stuff. Along with just the general thank you, I'm actually starting to pitch an idea. And that idea came from talking with Amory for, I don't know, maybe an hour yesterday. Amory is a buddy that I spend a fair amount of time with over at Armchair. By the way, this I wanted to post. This is the hardest image to surface from the retreat weekend. So, I really want to highlight this. What is the word where having the same number of contracts and having the same number of contracts as items, it seemed like, oh, that just feels right. It just feels good. That kind of the ideas kind of would just work. Just having the same number. It's almost like, well, having an even number feels right. It's not serendipitous. It's like, oh man. I'm gonna ask Gemini because this is gonna irritate me. I'm trying to think of a word. It feels like serendip. Serendip. It's not that. It's when things feel right. When they feel appropriately aligned or well timed and just happen to be that way. I wouldn't be surprised if he got it. Harmonious. I actually don't know this word. I like consonant. It's similar to providential, maybe. Not synchronous, but it feels like, I think synchronous, harmonious, and consonant. feel the closest, but hmm, can you offer what is it? Can you offer some more ideas? This is like, is this like the ultimate test for an LLM? Or is this exactly what an LLM is meant to? I like felicitous as well. No, I feel like I'm not gonna find it. That's crazy. That's okay. Well, I can always add more cards. Actually, no. Wait a second. So I think I took some notes. Let me look at my notes. I know I thought through a number and it looks like I didn't write it down. But right now, oh, you know what I can easily do? So there are four, I think it's four water jugs and six, yeah, four water jugs and six, no, five. What am I doing? Is it four and five? Yeah. Yes. So it's 9, 10, 12. So there are wait, what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. These are, yeah. So there are 4 and 5. And what I was thinking is I could just double them. So that means 8 water jug cards. Wonder if I can find. Oh, yikes! Did these not get shuffled? Question is, what do we currently have? Let me update this detail here. Huh? Oh, if I just stack them all like this, that works. So I have 10, so that's correct. And then I could just add, wait, another 4. So there's still a slight lean toward there's a slightly higher probability that what a player flips is going to be a laser gun. But what this does, increasing this number, it makes it so that the peak is more important around the solar system and not just on the solar storm row. So interesting. Yeah, because it's 4 and 5. Although maybe it should be 6 and 8, but that's still 14 right now. That was 14 before, and so it was running out. But maybe 6 and 8 is a little better because in a way I think it's good if it runs out, and that would actually encourage people. I'm gonna try this. I'm just gonna try it. I feel like 18 is probably excessive. Oops, no, did not mean to do that. This is the only one that flips. I love that detail. I want to say that was Francisco's idea. Okay, so there are 13 cards left. Let's actually think about this. There might be a little math to be done here. Let's say let's just guess. We'll do some super rough guessing. But first of all, what we can do is say, okay, there are up to, let's say, well, we need to consider that this is a 4-player game. Oh, interesting. The contract cards would need to scale to player count. Just realized that. That's if we really want this arc. Because what I'm about to do is calculate how many items there would be in circulation total. So let's go to the max. What's the greatest possible number of items in circulation? So it's 7 times 4, isn't it? Because what could happen is the solar storm is at the bottom of the deck, and so that means there are 7 auctions. If everybody participated in all 7 auctions, everybody gets an item, and so 4 items per auction for 7 auctions. So we're at 28 items. So that leaves, if there are 18 contracts, that leaves 10 items for players to scatter around the solar system as influence. Let's assume that about, let's say on average, 3 players. I bet it's more, but some weird stuff could happen in the auction. Let's say 3 players on average. 3 players participate in every auction. So that'd be 3 times 7. So 21. Should I be writing this down somewhere? Max possible items in circulation. 28, which is for 4 players. That's why. So for 4 players, 28, which is for 7 times 7. Let's do 7 times 4. Okay. Then let's assume that 3 players participate. 3 players on average. So in this case, it is, so for 4 players, it's 21, which is 7 times 3. Okay. I don't know. Would it be 6.5? Yeah, because it's 50 that there would be a 6 excuse me, 6 auction game and 7 auction games. So it's actually 6.5 auctions. Right now we're still thinking about the max. So the absolute max is 28 for 4-player game. But for actual auctioning, I feel like it's somewhere around 3 or 3 point something, 3.25 or something like that. I think it's slightly more than 3 people participate in every auction, but it might not be actually. It might be slightly lower depending on how aggressive bidding is. Okay, now the question is, and this is just fully an estimate based on the last couple of playtests, but about how many items are resolved every round. So this still assumes 7 rounds. Okay, so 7 rounds. How many items are delivered per round? And I would guess it's 2 to 3. So I'm going to say 2.5. 2.5. But are we talking about, I don't know if we're talking about delivering to fulfill contracts versus delivering for influence. It doesn't really matter yet. But I would say for influence, it would be like less than 1. I'm going to guess like 0.5 influence and 2, let's do contract fulfillment. Let's do the 2, okay? Because I so far it is fairly rare that somebody would do influence, but there are a lot. It seems like a bunch of players would want to be delivering for victory points and also for credits. So if 2.5 items are delivered over 7 rounds, then what is that? That's 14, 17 and a half. Is that right? Which is 2.5. Which is 2.5. Wait, 7 times 2.5. So if this is true, what's interesting is there should be exactly 1 contract left. Okay. So let's play. Let's see. Interesting. I don't think I've predicted like this before. Let's see if this works. Because there are 18 cards right now. Because obviously this is the number. So they're gonna have with yeah. Let's try it. Let's see if there's exactly 1. Why is this still here? I thought yeah, what is happening? Because I definitely interesting. What I need are excuse me. Oh, I wanted to keep this aside. This is 18 now. Excuse me. Okay, so here are the new contract cards, the new distribution. Flip this guy. This is set up. The other the other quality of life stuff I had done before, but looks like I lost it, is just like having one of each of these out. Locking them in place. I still feel like the Solar Storm probably doesn't. There's probably not enough pressure involved, and that's what we'll see. It's a question of like how many credits do we start with? Yikes. Okay, let me save this. Yeah, I feel like 20 credits might be a little too much, but um, it might be like, the more credits a player has, the more likely they are to hang themselves. Like overcommit and feel like, oh yeah, I got plenty credits, so no problem. But I guess we'll see. Also, should there be a start player? Is there a start player advantage? I'm not too sure. Interesting timing for this card, because everybody has movement. I would think if this card came up later, the peaks are really valuable, but I would think players might forego taking victory points for movement. Uh, forego victory points and take movement instead. But because it's so early and everybody has movement, I think it actually might work out that people would take victory points. Okay, so we'll do exactly very similar to what I did last time. I'll just give everybody some really basic bids to start, and everybody's involved here. So we'll go green. Why is there a snap point there? Okay, so we'll go green, and then yellow. Blue, and red. Now, top to bottom. So red is going to take 2 of these, having 3 total, and then also take 4 victory points, just like this. Just lay them out down here. Yep, and then 7 to blue. Yep. Okay, 7 to blue. a 40 yellow. And be encouraged, this would all be simultaneous during the actual game. It's because I'm playing by myself. I have to go through all these checks and stuff. Okay, and then everybody gains a water jug. Of course, this would all still be, this would be hidden. Now from bottom to top. So green, it's green's turn. Is green going to spend a peak? I think so. Green wants some certainty in their life. And there is a higher count of water jugs now, so what's tough is if this so this is not a water jug. Now if green doesn't go here, everybody else learns it's not a water jug. Anyway, if it was a water jug, then the police bot would jump back and hit him anyway. But they decide to, you know what, green's going to move over here. Let's have green move in here and actually spend their water jug to leave influence. Still early, so they're not really hurting for points. I'm sorry, for credits. Okay, green, then yellow. I think yellow's also going to spend a peak and they'll do it over here. Interesting. I think they'll just stay. Now, blue. I think blue stays. Doesn't want to waste. And then we'll have red check. Red's going to move in. Come here. Deliver this guy. And take 4 credits. Then this is going to come. Oh, nope. I didn't see what it was anyway. This is going to go back 1. Now it's a little tricky that green is here, so green is probably going to want to move out of the way because there's still lots of water jugs, and although this is now a laser gun, so green is definitely going to want to get out of the way. So green is bidding second, so they would consider that just like bid and then stop. I mean, let's see what red does. Let's have red start with 1, and then we'll go 2, we'll go 3, and 4. Just go like this. Does red want this? I think maybe red is aggressive here, so red's gonna go 5, and then green says, that's fine with me. I'm trying to get out of here. Okay, so let's end it there. So red is gonna take this again, actually. Even though they started, but it's still gonna be blue, yellow, and green. So the order didn't change. Okay, red takes 5 points, a peak, and a movement. Yeah, red is, I feel like, doing pretty well here. Blue takes 5 points. Although blue has the most points because the way that card worked out last time was the 7 here, right? That was blue, now yellow. Takes 2 more and a movement. And green. Green, with everybody else, green just gets a laser gun. Okay, I think that's it. So green is going to go first. Let's have green check this. It is a laser gun, so they'll turn this in. This comes here, and then the bot is going to go this way. They get 1 credit. Sorry, 6 credits. So it's 5 and 1. And that, I think, worked out well for green. And then they'll spend a movement to what? Like they're gonna, if they get in here, then they're unlikely to get hit in the next couple turns, unless it's 2 water jugs in a row. Okay, now yellow. Where could yellow go? We could have yellow actually join green. That seems like a good spot. Yellow will take this card. This goes away. And should we have yellow drop an influence cube here? Well, let's do everything. So we'll take this. The police bot's jumping here. Now it's blue's turn. Blue has quite a few options. Should they spend a peak now? I think, didn't blue check? I don't know. Let's have blue move down here actually. And because they have both items. So it doesn't there's no risk here whatsoever. So blue moves down, is gonna fulfill here. It is a water jug, so red is actually gonna get hit. So this goes like this. We got like this situation. Space bot comes here. Red. What does red want to do? I think red is just gonna pay. Yeah, I think red's just gonna pay the 5 and stay. So yeah, that hurt for you know what? I think he's gonna risk it. Should he peek or just flip? Because he can do the he can hit green and yellow too. I think he's gonna risk it. If oh no, because if this is a water jug, then he's gonna get hit and hit pretty hard. So I think he's not gonna do that. But red now is feeling vendetta style, so actually might want to. So I wonder if blue's just gonna get out of here. Let's have blue get out of there. Dang, that was kind of cool actually, the way that worked out. Okay, now it's red's turn, and red is gonna risk it and flip. Okay, so red was correct. We'll at least get their credits back and victory points. They got victory points out of it. And now it's yellow and green. So this is actually kind of interesting. Like that they were confident it was going to be okay, but he took a step back with the water jug and then went and hit them like this. So I actually think this is kind of cool. Like the drama of it is actually pretty good. Well, what are they going to do? They should probably do it in turn order. I actually really love the way that this UI is working, because turn order is really clear. So let's have green go first. Green is feeling good about their money. Green's gonna actually, you know what? Green has no great reason to stay. Let's have green go back and take a thing, but they do need to pay 3 credits. Okay, now what's yellow gonna do? Yellow wants to stay. Let's just have them. Let's have them stay then. Okay, so that was red's turn. I think this goes away, right? There was some fun drama in that round, I think. Okay, so this gets discarded. You know what? I'm going to try it like this, actually. So then this comes out. Oh, double peak. Oh. What I would love is if this... what I would love is for... Oh, wait a second. Oh, this is actually good. There's only like 4, or there are at most 4 auctions after this one. So I feel like this is moving along. This is moving along pretty well, right? Okay, so who is first? So red starts again, and red must bid. They have plenty peaks, so they're just gonna want the water jug, I think. Okay, now green. Should green push it? I don't think so. I don't know why, but green will stay in it though. Let's keep the bids low, boys. There'll be a lot of trading here, so it could get a little bit annoying. I meant yellow. So let's have yellow stay in it too. But this is sad right here. If you don't, at least you get the water jug, but it still feels a little bit sad. Let's go here and let's pass. So then red's gonna drop down, and then blue is gonna be number 1, and then yellow, and then green. So I kind of like this, how this is fairly likely to rotate. Okay, so blue is gonna get 1 victory point. What I really like is I have not been focused on who actually has the most victory points. And you know what? This game I'm gonna play to the end. I know I'm kind of coming up to my hour, but I'm gonna play through the end here. Okay, so blue gained 1 victory point, but gains 2 peaks. So I think that's actually nice. Yellow gains just 4 victory points and is a little bit sad of not credits, victory points. It's a little bit sad about that, but it's still something. Green just gains 2 victory points. Has 0 victory points right now. Yikes. So maybe green is feeling the heat a little bit. And now everybody gets a water jug. Interesting that yellow has 2 water jugs. They need to figure out what they're doing. Okay, so red is now... Could red pivot? I think red will spend a peak. We'll check here. Why not have them look ahead a little bit? Okay, so that's red. Are they moving? There's no real risk for red, so red's just going to hang out. Except that why not have red drop an influence? Victory points wise, they're doing okay. No, I think they'll hang on. It's already kind of late to go for influence, right? That's sort of the issue. All right, red. Now it is green. What's green up to? Can't move in there. Probably would want to move down here. Let's have green go down and drop off this water bottle, actually. For an influence, there is definitely still time for green. So let's have green just be this sort of sneaky influence person this time. I'm not sure I gave... Where did green come from? I'm not sure I gave green a peek, but I forget. Okay, so that was green, now yellow. Yellow's got work to do, but I think they want to move out of there. Hmm. Let's have yellow move back to the center, gain a peak. Well, you know what? Before we move, let's have him drop an influence. Because I think you could have yeah, I think we should have some scaling points for influence. Like if you influence 2 planets, it should still be fewer points than contracts, because the contracts involve a little risk, right? So, but at the same time, I think we still do, like, if you influence 3 planets, it equals 5 points or something like that. And if you influence 4 and survive the solar storm, you win, no matter what, no matter how many victory points you have. Anyway, so yellow moved into the center, got a peak. What is yellow going to do with this peak? Let's have yellow check. Let's have yellow check. Because if this is a water bottle, let's have yellow check this one. Did we already have? I think they're just going to stay for now. Okay, yellow and then blue. Yellow and now blue. So blue has tons of peaks. And they have, okay, so for sure they're going to run down here because this is like the safest spot at the moment because they can't get in here. All right, so they flip this. They're going to gain this for sure. Let's go this way. Gain the 6 credits. And this guy moves 1, 2. That's it. And then this fills. Now the question is, does blue spend another peak here? I think he does. And let's go twice. Let's go here again. Oh, blue though. If blue does this, and they're committing just to see what happens. So they're gonna gain the 4 credits. And I think in a way it's worth it because they got so many credits off of this move here. Anyway, this guy's gonna move back. So it's next round though. So if blue won this round, so they're just gonna bid low, act first so that they don't get hit. I really, really like this dynamic actually. I think it's a really cool like push pull ebb flow thing, like where I want to bid high, do some cool stuff, and then bid low and get out of there. I think this is actually pretty neat, I think. Okay, so now that took a long time. That was a fairly long round, but okay, we have blue bidding. What is he bidding on? Whoa. Actually, now all of a sudden blue's wondering, should I go for all this stuff? I don't know, because red is like, heck yeah, let me do that. The thing is, if anybody outbids red, so red needs to set the bid high enough that they think nobody else is going to take it because they like this. Or no. Of course we bid low, and then once the bids go up, right? So we'll stay 2 here because this is kind of junk. Once you get past the first one, it's a kind of junk. Let's have 3, and we'll have yellow push it to 6. Now, is blue gonna go 7? They could. And they need movement. They want to get out of there. But they also have plenty credits, so I don't know, they're not as motivated. I think blue's gonna pass, but red is gonna go for it. So let's have, well no, red is in trouble too. Who's not in trouble? Yellow is not in trouble. So that's why yellow was happy to do this and get all this good stuff. So unfortunately, we're going to have them pass. But the key is that they're all acting before yellow. So anyway, so let's have blue go to the bottom, then red, then green, and then yellow's at the top. Okay, yellow's actually in some kind of trouble because they do need to they're not getting many victory points, and they definitely need to deliver some stuff. Okay, so green's going to get 4, and 1, 1 peak, and then 1 and 1. Oh shoot, I did it again. No, this is not credits, this is victory points. Who did I... Oh, yellow got none anyway. Okay, so green gets 4 victory points. I wonder if I've been doing this like a lot. And then 1 and 1, so 1 victory point and 1 peak. And then everybody gets a water bottle. Excuse me, a water jug. I feel like this is going fairly well. There's still kind of a lot of auctions left, honestly. But blue's trying to get this influence thing, and now they need to start really thinking about the solar storm, I'm pretty sure. So how did they amass enough points? And again, this would be moving so much faster because all of this is going on simultaneously, this part of it. Okay, now blue acts first. So blue cannot act. Wait. Instead of taking this, blue's going to take a movement and come in here for a peek. So blue's just going to run. Okay, now red. Red. Huh. Red, I think, is going to peak here. Oh, interesting. No, blue is absolutely going to do that first, honestly. So, oh, no, 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 because they would have gotten the water jug. They had to choose water jug or movement before looking. So now that red looked, red is definitely going to drop this here and turn this in. And that actually worked out perfectly for red because now they're essentially safe for a little while. So let's get the 4 credits and drop the water bottle in there and then replace. This timing looks pretty good now that we're down to 5 contracts. So yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Now red, now green. Green is no longer in trouble. What do they want to do? We can have them peek. So I can just check this. And they'll turn in their jug because they already have influence in that spot. But they're running out of time. They are running out of time for the influence strat. So need to be careful about that. Give them their 4 credits. And this just allows them to stay in the bidding, which is also fine. Oh, cool. I just heard from my Adra contact. She said, "So we played the game we played a lot today. Wow, got very intuitive. Love the game. We'll have a few suggestions about directions tomorrow. We came up with a possible complication to add to the game with dice. We'll send that too. I think we're almost there. Truly, that's very exciting. I'm glad they're enthusiastic and feeling good. So that's awesome. Okay, so we had green take their turn, and now it's yellow's turn. So what is yellow up to? Yellow left influence. Yellow's here. Now they have a lot of movement. Interesting. Nobody has any laser guns left. Nobody's been able to get in here. But let's have yellow move down here. Should they peek or just go for it? Yellow is very much running low, so I think yellow is gonna peek. Oh, no, of course they peek before they move. Okay, peek here. Not going down there, so everybody knows this is a laser gun. Not going to move over here because that's going to bring the bot back this way and it'll attack everybody. Ooh, what about there? What's this? Still a laser gun. So that's trouble. What is yellow going to do? Just wait or take the 3 credits and forgo the VP? I think just wait. Oh, that's tough. Or move, drop an influence. I think move and drop an influence here. Okay. Why didn't green do that? Why didn't green? Oh, because they needed credits, probably. Okay. All right. Next round. So there are at most 2 auctions left. And so everybody's kind of wondering, how can I hold on to credits? These guys are still very rich, like too rich, I think. So they might want to push here. Because look at this. That's a lot of victory points. So I think these guys are going to start kind of trying to muscle people around. Because this is a big victory point card and it has a laser gun. So they know most of these are laser guns. And so it's just going to be. So yellow's actually. Ooh, yellow's going to stay in it because they need a laser gun in order to gain some credits back. Now blue's going to really. Oh, they can feel it out, right? So let's start with 2, and then we'll go 3, and then 4. Yellow's gonna pass, and then 4. So we can do a 5. No, let's go up to 7. It's gonna go 8. So 8 and then pass. Okay, so this mixed things up. This was actually really good, I think. So yellow is gonna be lowest bid. And then so that'll be yellow and then green. So this is cool because it's like a total flip-flop of the order from before. Then blue. That hurts blue a little bit, but they still, I think, have the most victory points, so that's not terrible. Blue and then red is biggest over here. Okay, so let's get rid of all this stuff. I love that you can just clean this up once the turn order is established. I think that's great. Okay, so yellow's going to act first. And yellow now, oh wait, everybody gets a laser gun. This is actually working. I think this is working really, really well, and I'm pretty excited about it. Because now there's a lot of good tension going into the solar storm, right? As bids are going up and people are getting kind of desperate to turn in items. So it's yellow's turn to act first. So yellow is definitely going to go laser gun here. So that's perfect. They're going to get the credits back they need to like survive the storm, potentially, and they get some points there. Also, the bot is going to move 2, right? And yellow, what is yellow going to do? Is yellow going to get out of here? Because it's pretty volatile and they don't want to get hit with bad stuff. So let's give them a peek. And they can spend their peak, but will they? I don't think so. I don't know. Okay, so that was yellow. Now green. Green is still interested in influence, but can't move. Let's have green get out of the way. Should we go? I think we're gonna commit. So here it is. So they're really giving up on victory points this way, because now they're down to only a couple of auctions left, and there's still a chance. That they can get a fair number of victory points and hang on to their credits. So 15 credits they feel is pretty good. Okay. So that's green, and now what they're hoping is they will survive the next 2 turns and not get hit right here. Okay, that was green. Now blue. Blue cannot move. Is blue okay with that? Let's have blue start checking out the solar storm. Actually, no, they look. They learn that it's in the middle here. Let's do that. So they're not super nervous. They're not super duper nervous about this situation. That was blue. Yeah, that was blue. They know they can kind of burn some credits now. Now red. So red has some good movement. Red wants to get out of here. If this is a laser gun, that's bad news. So I think let's have red move up. Let's have red move up here. Check this one. Drop off the laser gun right here. This guy's gonna move too. And this guy, red, is gonna gain 6 credits. I like that. I like what's happening here. Okay, so that was it for that auction. Now we're really getting down pretty close to the end. Ooh, peak time. Peak sounds delicious. Red needs to bid, so red will stay in. And there's all of a sudden feeling like things are a little bit tight. Let's have uh yellow obviously needs to stay in. They have one more influence to deliver. The trouble is they need to travel quite a bit. So what did I just do? I need to trade in some stuff. So they need this item, but they're not necessarily interested in it for the credits. And then let's trade in one here. Yeah, this is way too much trading. Then they'll go 3 and blue. Is red gonna want this? I think blue just kind of stays in it like this. So red's gonna drop down, then blue, then green, and then yellow. Wow, blue is really raking in points actually, which is kind of interesting. Blue, yeah, has a lot of victory points. So they're pretty motivated to keep green from getting out here, right? So how would they do that? First of all, they need to find, they cannot move anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. Well, yeah, I don't think blue can prevent this. Oh, but green only has, green is going to take a movement instead of victory points right now. Because they're basically all in at this point. Like, they need to get the job done, right? And they need to travel all the way over here. They might get hit, so that's cool tension, actually. Okay, green, and now yellow. Yellow's going to take a P because they have plenty of movement, and 4 victory points. I think this is my first time playing the whole game to completion, and this is actually feeling really good. Yeah, okay, so then yellow, and then now red. Everybody gains a laser gun. So there were more people participating more of the time than I expected. I think everybody, for the most part, stayed in it. So what that means to me is the credits were pretty good. Like starting with 20 was actually pretty good. Okay, now it's taking a turn. So what is red up to? Red is safe. I think red's going in here. So they're going to be able to get it because they definitely have what they need. So it's this. And they'll gain 4 credits. And this guy is going to move backwards. Hit green. Green's actually going to take it because that 3 credits is actually free movement. So in a sense, that's awesome, actually. That's actually really cool. because green wanted to head over here anyway, right? Now they kind of wasted. They could have gotten more victory points. They didn't need them because I think they're obviously going to finish this right here. Where are we? So that was red. Okay. And then red, yellow. Does yellow have time? I think yellow does two things here. I think yellow moves, first of all. And yellow checks this card. It's a laser gun. So that's interesting. 6 credits. No, not that. 6 credits. The gun goes away. This guy moves twice, hits red. What does red do? This is perfect timing. Like, this is very, very good timing. So red, does red just pay? I think red just pays. No, I don't know. Red can come over here, spending the 3, gaining a peak. I think they're feeling fine. Who is that? That was yellow. Now green. Green's gonna move in here, drop off the laser gun for an influence, and then move back. I think, did they just spend both of their movement? I think they did, so they're safe, right? Yeah, I feel like that's about right. I feel like that's pretty good. What's blue gonna do? Blue can't really do anything except just kind of hunker down because they have no movement. So, okay, we end there. Now, if this is, okay, there's one last auction. So blue needs to bid here. Red will stay in it, I guess. Movement would be really helpful. Green, I'm pretty sure green is just going to pass. Right? They're feeling good. Can yellow do it, though? Yellow stays in. Interesting. Yes, interesting. So because yellow, interesting. Yellow's going to go for this as well, and they're going to tie. And so they're going to check victory points next. I'm actually really liking this. I feel like this is working pretty well. Let's just have everybody pass. Okay, so green is not in it. They cannot take a turn. Blue is here. Who's the biggest? The highest bid and then second highest bid. Okay, so yellow. Actually, this is kind of interesting because, yes, they're going to gain the victory points. 7 victory points and 2 movement. So they just have a ton of flexibility now. Now red's going to go gain a peak and they gain 4 victory points. Okay, blue gains 1 victory point and peak. And then yellow's out of it. Oh, wait a minute. Should blue, actually no, blue is not going to take this. Blue is instead going to take a movement. So foregoing any rewards and taking a movement instead. Okay, now it's blue's turn. So blue actually is going to take advantage of that movement. Move in here. Hope that this is a laser gun. It is. So that works out. 1, 2, like this. Gain 6 credits back. Right, and has those 3 victory points. So that was a decent final turn for blue. Red. What is red gonna do? Where is red? Red is here. So red can come up here and try the laser gun here. I think they will. Hope this is so it's not. But so they lose it, but at least they gain a few credits just in case. That's not super exciting. But anyway, yeah, the police spot runs back there. This is the first mismatch actually, which is kind of interesting. So they moved, and that was it. Oh, did I give them 3 credits? No, I think it's 4 credits actually. Okay, a little bit of a cushion, but that was disappointing points wise. They're trying to catch blue, but I don't think blue is going to be caught here. Also, I think they all understand. Do they all understand that they're not gonna win? Yeah, I kind of don't like this all of a sudden. I don't like that they would know green is gonna win. Like, why would they participate at all? Yeah, why would they participate at all? It might not be that green wins, but it's this scaling victory point thing. Like maybe 4 planets is like 15 points or something like that. Anyway, let's see how the final scores come out. Yellow, what are you doing? Oh yeah, yellow is moving. So, oh wait, where? Why doesn't yellow have a laser gun? I think. Yeah. So yellow is dropping off a water bottle here, moving, dropping off the laser gun here, and now, is that it? Let's say that that's it. Okay. So now, now we start resolving the solar storm. So pay 2 credits. Yeah, there's no tension here whatsoever, right? Because they all have like a ton of credits. So they pay 2. Fair enough. Pay 2. Pay 2. Pay 2. And pay 2. Okay, flip the next one. Pay 2 more. Everybody's paying 2 more. So green is actually somewhat in trouble, right? If okay, pay 2 more. This guy actually is too yellow, kind of. Pay 2 more. I'm gonna actually move the solar storm down to the end just to see if it gets anybody. Pay 2, no problem. Okay, what's this one? This one is also pay 2. Okay. Pay 2. Okay, now this one. Pay 3. Yeah, so everybody does fine with the solar storm. Right. Like, even if it was at its worst, everybody did fine. Now let's count up the points. So we let me oh shoot, that's not gonna work. So it's six victory points from there and 6 from here, so 12. And then we need to figure out the scaling of the planets. So let's see what would kind of be fair with that. Yeah, because I kind of now I don't really like an instant win, but the more planets you influence, the more points you get. Okay, 5. Sorry about the yikes. Okay, 5 plus 9, so 14. Wow, 21 and 9. What? 30 points? Yikes. Hello. All right, now we're at 15. 15, that's 6, so 21 plus 12 is 33. Wow, that was close. 33. Now what do we have over here? Yeah, I think red got hosed. Unreal. Okay, can we try again? Check, 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 check. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, I didn't realize I was like at the max. Interesting. I should have just muted. Okay, so some really encouraging stuff here. So what I thought through just here was scaling points for how many planets you influence. So we start with 2, so it's just under the value of like actually turning in an item for a contract. So a contract would give you 3 points. You start here, and this gives you 2 points. So it's under the value, right? So if you just influence one planet, you're basically slightly less efficient than, well, also you're not getting credits. So this is really an investment, a long-term investment, because then you add 3 to that, which gets us to 5, and then if you drop off 2 items in this way, you're still slightly less efficient for victory points, because you would be getting 6 points for this. But then if we add 4, so it's 2, 3, 4, we get to 9, so we equalize. So we get the same number of victory points, but we're still sacrificing on credits, right? You're not getting credits, and you're also not moving the police bot. But then we add 5. Now the ramp starts to take you up, because here now you're 2 victory points higher than you would be, and then after this you will be 5 victory points better. Is that great? Is that enough? No, but if you diversify a little bit, if you do some of both, like here we have yellow who did both. Yellow influenced 4, and so got 14 points off of it. But they also ended up getting a bunch of like credits too. Wait, did I count this right? Yeah. So yeah, because they were in the game in terms of auctioning, like bidding on victory points. They definitely had a fair number here. And they were getting good stuff, like they had 9 points off of this. So it's 5, 9 is 14, plus 7 is 21. That seems kind of high. I don't know actually how that worked out. But 21 plus 9 is 30, right? That was their base score. But then because their influence in the last turn, they got 2 influence here. And blue actually should have gone this way too, because they would actually get a few more points. But if they didn't get those, if they were just here with 5, then they would have got 35, and blue could have actually tied them. So anyway, I like this spread. The spread of scores is actually pretty good. I think it is a mistake then to focus solely on delivering like that. And red also didn't influence anything and ended up just didn't win the victory point bidding game. Anyway, I see that now. Like it's just really cool seeing that there are multiple ways to get victory points. You could focus on getting the high value cards here. You can focus on turning in like fulfilling contracts. Not focus, but think about how you could prioritize bidding on high point value positions on these cards, or you could prioritize fulfilling contracts, which clearly helped. It clearly helped. This is 15 points, right? Or you can do this influence thing, which helps you ramp up. And I actually think this is really, really good. I think this is really working. So I'm excited about that. Notice the yellow. If this Solar Smugglers card had come out earlier, then yellow would really have been in trouble. They wouldn't have gotten near. Yeah, so I would say too that there is not enough pressure from the solar storm. I think that's a tweak I'll make. I'm going to ramp up the cost because I want bidding war to feel. I don't want it to feel too tight. I want players to feel like they have money to spend, but if the solar storm is really going to hit them, they also need to care about what's going on up here because I still think that matters. It did not affect anybody in any way this time. In fact, you know what? It actually could be okay even without the solar storm. Um, but I think having some tension here, a little bit of fear about how things go, I think that's actually the push your luck element seems really important. So what I'm going to do now is think about how and when to reach out to Ricky Tata to see if he'll play with me and see if he likes this mix of mechanisms, and try to get some playtesting done. I may prep a prototype for tonight. I have a prototype mostly made, but I think I don't have enough. Um, I think I don't have enough contract cards, so that's an issue. Anyway, this has been, I think, a very productive playtest. I'm pretty excited to see how things are going. And now I have a lot of work to get to otherwise with my class and things like that. And I really should go over to the conference office early tonight to put away some of our stuff, maybe set up the shelves to clean up our area a little bit. Anyway, this is, yeah, pretty exciting. And thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you soon. Bye bye for now.